What's up, everyone? It's NFL Week 8, and this is the Draft Battle, where we draft a snake draft style team on DraftKings against the salary cap to see how we can do, present a sweet lineup, and see if you can beat the Geek. Well, really is really what this is going to come down to. Special guest today, the Funconomist, John from 444. What's up, my man?
Not much. Doing well. Excited to be here. Excited to do some snake drafting. I usually do some snake drafting each week, but obviously this is a little bit of a different format. So, excited to try to tackle this. I feel like, maybe this is like something that should be more broadly done. I don't know. Like this, you're coming up with a great business idea for DraftKings.
Well, it's a concept. DraftKings, if they call us, we're available for selling this concept for the right price. But no, we find it's fun and it's helpful to talk about the players, and it gives us a little bit of conflict on screen, which is always fun. And of course, I have to mention that once again, after last week's battle with Josiah Bob 226226 and Fling, once again, I have come out on top.
There's no way.
That's
not what happened.
I did have a late swap in there with Deebo Samuel that kind of changed my lineup around, but man, it's a pretty good 189 is a pretty damn good. So that's cash in tournaments last week. That's not even that's cashing pretty decent in some tournaments last week. So we're gonna keep it going.
What Geek's not telling you is I drafted Judkins, so it couldn't have had Judkins. Josiah drafted Rashee Rice, so it couldn't have had Rashee Rice, and I drafted CeeDee Lamb. So you're disqualified.
But
no win.
They were all my core plays last week, so I did have them in all my lineups except for this one because of the snake format. But we're gonna get back into it. And John, I'm gonna start you off. You're the special guest, the Funconomist. Is it funk?
Yeah, you're getting it right.
Like,
no, that's
funk, or is it fun? Like having fun, or are you
either way? Funk? Either way, it's been pronounced both. I accept both. I'm good with anything really. But yeah, no, any way works. I'm gonna
imagine in my mind that it's for funk, like that. I was just listening to some funk music right before here.
So
had the stank face going, you know.
The origin story is that I am an economics guy and an economics major, and so I was like, okay, if we're taking economic concepts and applying them to sports or other markets, or like if I'm building a model for like the Rose League for The Bachelor, right? Like that's fun economics. So I was like, okay, funkonomics, and then it kind of became funk. And I think Jordan Cooper really started that. So I just went with it. Any way we go with it, I'm good with it.
The funkonomics.
Love it.
The economics of fun, but also of funk. And I like all of those things. So those are great. And again, Funconomics, you're starting us off today. We're giving you the special guest power of going first. You can pick anything you want, any player you want, whole player pool, who's the top guy, but also think about who is Fling hoping to take that you can steal from him before he gets to him.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to go with A-Chain here. I like the value, I like the projection, and I like the price, and I think you guys have experience. This is the first roundabout for me, so I want to make sure that I'm not going too crazy on salary, and make sure I can make a lineup that fits. So you don't come down to it, and I'm like, I got $200 for my defense.
That does happen, and so well thought through. If you start taking multiple expensive pieces in here, you wind up with some garbage in the flex that is completely disastrous. I've also already done a first look, and this isn't the week of extreme bargains that we've seen the last few weeks. So be a little careful with your spend here. But Achan, okay, that's a surprising one to start us out. But anytime Tua and Achan are together up against that Atlanta team that just got burned for what, 10,000 yards? Who played Atlanta last week? Who just smoked Atlanta? Like there was a running back that just smoked them, and I can't even recall. But either way, was it McCaffrey?
McCaffrey.
Yeah, it was McCaffrey.
CMC.
Yeah, went crazy against Atlanta last week. So there we go. All right, Fling, over to you.
I mean, that's sharp. We're not bum hunting here for sure, bringing you on. So I like that. I'm going to do the opposite, though. I am going to pay up. Bijan Robinson, core play for me going against the Dolphins. Too good of a spot. I think he could end up, scoring 30-plus points. So I'm going Bijan.
I really think I am at a disadvantage going third a lot of the time because I loved Bijan, would have taken him as well. I'm going to keep on the theme of running back, but I'm going to pay down for Rachaad White with
nice.
With Bucky just ruled out. I like the spot. And man, how bad did Baker look? Sports is crazy. What about Sportconomist, where a guy 1 week looks like he's the MVP, and then all of a sudden he's just half a second slow, and you're like, man, I could see this man is having an off night. And what are you gonna do? My money's getting burned. My bets are getting toasted. What am I supposed to do? I'm like, yeah, this guy's not going to turn around. He's throwing it over the head. He never does that. That was brutal last week. But
the extreme version of that is the Broncos. Bo Nix, terrible for 3 quarters, and then fourth quarter scores 40 DraftKings points.
Yeah,
just crazy.
Yeah, that really flipped the slate a lot, quite a bit.
That was a slate break. I had Dart picked out, and I was heavy on Dart last week because no one was sub 1% owned Dart. Yes, please, right? And I didn't care, but it was the Dart explosion that caused the Knicks double explosion. If Dart wasn't going crazy, Knicks doesn't do anything. All right, Funconomist, you're up. Pick number 2. You got HN on your roster.
Yeah. Gosh, I feel like I'm gonna. I just think I need to take this guy. So I'm gonna go with McCaffrey, even though I was trying to save salary. So we're gonna hopefully make that up later on. But I agree with you as far as the obvious values, they are thinning out quite a bit. So hopefully we can make this work.
It's supposed to happen this time of year.
Yes.
This is when it happens. So, the players are starting to become priced correctly. I don't even want to mention one other one, though. I'm going to keep quiet. Hopefully, No, I think it's Fling who's next. So I'm just going to keep quiet until I go. Fling, you're up second.
All right. So I'm going to go with one of the top fantasy points per dollars on the slate. Great matchup at home, high team total, going against a terrible Dallas defense. Give me J.K. Dobbins.
Oh, man, you get sucked in to that damn J.K. Dobbins play every single week, and it never works.
It's going to work this week, Geek.
It never works. The guy doesn't outscore. He never scores more than 15 points. It's lost.
He's 5,800.
All right, fine. I'm going to tell you. Thank you for taking him. That's why I was keeping quiet, because I forgot that the most mispriced player of the 2024-2025 season is sitting there. Derek, excuse me? 6K for Derrick Henry?
That's a good one, too.
What is this, PJ Washington tonight? What the hell's going on? They messed up. They didn't know that Lamar was coming back. You get Lamar back, Derrick Henry gets a real run in this game. Thank you for the value, gentlemen.
Is he coming back? I saw conflicting reports today that he might miss this game.
If he misses, then this Derrick Henry play will be a disaster. It will go right down the drain as a complete and utter disaster. Henry is only playable when the Ravens are massive favorites.
I know.
My guess is, though, Lamar will be back based on the game total and the spread, but that could change.
I mean, I have Lamar in our Army Dynasty League, and I need him back this week. I'm like right on the verge of contending or like not contending. So I need him.
I think you're going to get him back this week.
I hope so.
All right. Funk, you're on the clock.
Well, you explained my pick for me very well. And I'm going to correlate with your team a little bit here. So I'm going to go with Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
There you go.
Same reasoning.
Mispriced with Lamar back.
Yeah, they made a mistake. I don't normally play Zay Flower. Like, I avoid him like the plague normally, but that's because they price him at like 6,400, 66. He's usually priced where I consider a little above his like range of outcomes. This price is an acceptable spot for Flowers, especially even if Lamar didn't play. I kind of don't mind it, but especially with Lamar in there.
For sure.
Right. Yep. I like it. Fling, you're back on the clock. Another Dobbins-led team.
It's not led by Dobbins, led by Bijan, okay?
I have concerns about the Dobbins call. But seriously, This guy never passes 15 points.
That's not true. Just check it.
All right, he got a 15.4. I mean, he's always right there, by the way. It's just like so consistent. Can I tell you how many points he's going to get you tomorrow? I'm pretty confident you're going to be in a range of 14.8 to 15.4. It's gonna happen. It's
going to happen against Dallas at home. They're the team to play at home.
That's what they said about Bill Jakrari Merritt last week. That didn't work out that well.
You're right. It did not work out. But Dobbins has actually been good. Here's the problem with Dobbins. Sean Payton decides to throw 6 times at the goal line instead of give the ball to J.K. Dobbins. It's a Sean Payton problem, and he's been driving me nuts every weekend.
It's good for Knicks, though. I'll take that.
Yeah, it's good for Knicks, yeah.
All right, you're on the clock. Fling, who's up? You're on the clock, Fling.
Yeah, I'm going with another value, Chase Brown. I think Flacco has put some life into that offense. They're pretty big favorites at home. I liked the 5,400 Chase Brown.
I do not mind that at all. I think Chase Brown, would you guys agree, kind of the cheapest viable running back? I can't imagine anybody. I guess Woody Marks would be a viable running back. All right, you got a 5,100, or if you need the savings.
Yeah.
I'm just remembering. All right, I'm back on the clock. Here we go. All right, I was not thinking of my turn, so I need to spend a second here looking. Oh, yeah, there's some players here that I absolutely love. You know what I'm going to go with here? Ted McMillan, T-Mac.
That's a good one.
The improvement, the upgrade at quarterback from Bryce Young to Andy Dalton. That's right. The backup is an upgrade. I think McMillan does better with Dalton than he ever was going to do with Bryce Young. So give me a little bit of that value. I'm staying in the middle. See how I'm keeping it middling, Funk? I'm doing that on purpose so that I don't run into a buzzsaw on the last pick.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I noticed.
Yeah, it happens. All right, you're on the clock. Let's go. Let's see what we got so far. HN, McCaffrey, Flowers.
Yep. I'm so now I'm gonna need to go looking for some value. I think I'm gonna step fully into so I'll have my concerns as well. I'll be watching the reports for Lamar Jackson's return, because I'm gonna go with another one here with Mark Andrews at tight end.
Ooh, okay.
It's a good matchup for sure.
Unowned.
Yeah.
Unowned Mark Andrews. I like that call. Better hope for Lamar at this point.
Yeah.
But I think you better put Lamar as your quarterback, I think, with Flowers and Andrews in there. That just
right.
We'll leave him for you. He's yours. I like Lamar actually this week, but I think you've built a Lamar enough team that you kind of have to have him at the helm. Fling, you're up.
All right, I'm going to continue attacking the Dolphins defense. I'm going to queue up Drake London.
There we go.
I like that.
Yeah, that's 6,400. Reasonable price.
Yeah, not too bad.
All right. And back around to me. All right. Kind of have a thought that I want to go to quarterback now. And I am. And I would just want to put an emphasis on how excited I am about this quarterback this week. Almost as excited. I was excited about this guy. I just love this game. And I'm going with Jackson Dart. He got the magic. He got the magic in him. This game is going to explode. All right. Dart's going to be magicking it. And Hurts is going to have to answer. And that just is going to lead to fireworks and explosiveness. I love this game. I'm going to try to grab more pieces from it. But give me Dart at the helm.
All right.
He gets it done with his legs. He gets it done with the arm. He gets it done with good looks, which is just a whole other thing. Have you seen that kid? He looks like Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. Guy's an
He's
Adonis.
a good looking dude.
Yeah.
Have you seen Chad Powers? I kind of feel like he could, the movie Chad Powers could be like based off of him in some ways. Like
I've not seen
it's the same profile.
I keep hearing about Chad Power. I got to watch it. Is that on Hulu?
It's on Hulu. It's good. It's good.
Yeah. I got to watch that. All right. We got Dart in there, and we're back around to you, Funconomist.
Thank you. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go with a little bit of a contrarian option here. I think I could probably go with either of the receivers on this team just based on the projections, But I'm going to go with Rashid Shaheed here with a little salary savings. I think you could go with Olave in this format too, but I like spending down an extra $1,000 or so dollars and getting Shaheed.
Shaheed will win you a tournament multiple times over the course of a season.
That's right.
Tough to know when.
Yeah, you got to pick the right week. You got to pick the right
or you
week.
just got to pick it every week and just accept that it's not going to be right sometimes. Sure. But when it is, you win the whole thing. I like it. Fling, you're back on the clock. Here you've got 3 running backs and a wide receiver so far.
Oh, tough decisions here. I'm going to go with George Pickens. I'm going to stay in that Denver and Dallas game. I think Patrick Surtain is going to be covering CeeDee Lamb a lot, and I think that's going to open things up for George Pickens as the number 2 wide receiver going against Riley Moss, Denver's number 2 corner.
Do you think they will shadow Lamb?
The way Vance Joseph played, like his defensive schemes, like he won't shadow him the whole game, but like 70% of the game, I do expect Patrick Surtain to be on Lamb. That's kind of how he's done it in the past with like Jamar Chase.
Doesn't mean, yeah, it's tough. I'd love to be able to lean one way or the other. I love that game environment as well. I did like that Pickens was still super involved last week. I'm going back to this Giants-Eagles game for my pick. And we're going to build a proper tournament lineup here in the snake draft format of the draft battle. We're actually going to try to pull this off. I'm trying to decide between Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. You know what's weird is I think that Devontae Smith actually has a better sort of connection with Jalen Hurts than A.J. Brown does. I don't know. I think Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown don't get along. I don't know what's up with those two. Even that big week last week, and we played a lot of A.J. Brown last week, Smith was smashing before A.J. Brown even woke up in that game. Like he was smashing first. So give me some Smith on the bring back on this lineup. Building an actual tournament winner, maybe. Hopefully we're just winning this little battle. All right, Funconomist, we're back to you. You got H.N., McCaffrey, Zay Flowers, Rashid Shaheed, and Mark Andrews building a little Baltimore stack.
That's right. Yeah, I think I'm going to go back to value here, right? I think I've got a little bit of like a GPP feel to this lineup. So I'm going to go back to value. And I'm gonna go, and again, we're gonna get real tight on this flex position, which is okay. I'm all right with that. But I'm gonna go with Jamar Chase at 81.
Oh,
there we go.
Pay for it. I love Flacco so much. Flacco at the helm delivers as much upside for Chase and T. Higgins as Burrow does. That's right. I said it.
I thought you were gonna say as Dalton delivers for Tet. Which I was like, oh, yeah, that's good. That's good.
That's fair as well. Dalton is like, for me, Dalton's kind of like a poor man's version of Flacco. Like Flacco loves to sling it. Dalton likes to sling it. He doesn't love it.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
You see Flacco out there, he's laughing. He's getting hit. Yeah, listen, I get it too. I'm of a certain age, Funconomist. And you get past a certain age, like you get past your sporting age, you're just happy to be out there. And that's what Flacco's doing. He's like, dude, I'm 40 and I can play football on the field. This is the best. And he's just out there having fun. He doesn't care. He's like, I don't care. I'm having fun. I throw an interception. I don't give a shit. I'm doing throw another one. Let's go. Where's Jamar Chase? I'm going to throw to you 23 times. No problem. I think he can support T. Higgins too. I think he can support both of those guys. That's how awesome Flacco is. When he's on and he gets a dead defense in the Jets. Oh, smash. How do you pay for this though? I don't know that you can make a lineup here. I think you overdid it.
Yeah, we're getting close. We're getting real tight.
I mean, I think your quarterback is probably going to have to be Tyrod Taylor at this point. So hopefully that's who you have in mind. Fling, you're on the clock. You need a wide receiver, a tight end, a defense, and a quarterback.
All right, let me plug in my tight end because I don't know what I want to do at wide receiver. I'm gonna go with Kate Otten here with Evans and Godwin both out. I think he should see a good amount of targets. 3,400. That's a good price for him this week.
We want to be on cheap tight end. Cheap tight end has been the thing. Although I'm pretty sure last week, did the Millie Maker have double tight end?
It did. It had Trey McBride and Godson.
Ron Gadsden. Yeah, that guy. We actually mentioned he was I don't want to take credit. He was mentioned either I believe by the stream audience during Tournament Tactics on Friday, and I'm like, who's this Gadsden character? Everybody was pushing Bo Nix also. That was really great, actually. Our chat was like, Nix. And I'm like, all right, you convinced me. Fine, I'll do it. Like, I was not on that. I was on the dart side, but they convinced
Burns
me.
had him on his sheet. I checked. Burns had Godson on his sheet.
So. Yeah, I know it was mentioned during the show. So that was that was a really good that was a really solid call. Let's see where we're at here. Chase Brown, Kadon. Okay, that's your turn. Looks like I'm on the clock. All right, I'm back on the clock here. And I'm going to go with what I said just before. There's so many nice little plays here, by the way, in this 5 to 6K. And by the way, Garrett Wilson might come back as well. That might happen. But I'm going to go to T. Higgins. I'm going to negate your Chase pick by taking the half-price teammate of him.
There you go.
And just kind of see, let's see, maybe they throw it to this guy. If Sauce is playing, maybe Sauce will sauce Jamar Chase a little bit in that game, and they'll have to throw it the other way.
That's fair. Yeah, no, I like that. That's some good game theory right there. You're doing well. I like that.
There we go. All right. Funconomist, you need to get a quarterback here, but you got 4K remaining.
Yep.
Per position. Obviously, you got a defense. That's a salary saver.
Yes, it is. I think I'm going to do so. Yeah, you actually mentioned it on the Millie Maker side. I think I'm going to do something like this. And actually, I tend to do this sometimes in sort of these modified cash games, which I think is like kind of what this is similar to.
Yeah, I would call it that.
I'm going to go with Dalton Schultz for my flex spot.
The double tight end.
Double tight end. He's got 6 targets or more in the last 4 games, with 10 last week. And the pricing there is just really solid. So I'm gonna go with Dalton Schultz.
Double tight end, very, very reasonable approach in a cash style lineup, and quite honestly, it does win tournaments every now and again. So, but we're this is more of a cash environment. So that leaves you 4,300. Let's say you put a 3K. Yeah, this is enough. So now you'll have plenty of salary to do whatever you want at quarterback. I'm not sure you're going to get to Lamar Jackson on this one, but probably get Flacco in there. Nothing wrong with that. All right, Fling, you're on the clock.
All right, I'm gonna roll with Wan'Dale Robinson.
Wandy.
Yeah.
That's just a straight theft of my correlated wide receiver. Does this?
Is that who you're going to take?
No, I don't think I was going to take him. I have him in my first look lineup, though. I probably would have taken him. If he's there, I might have. I think I would have. But I don't know if I even have wide receiver spots left. Fling, you are down to 3,950 with a defense and a quarterback as well. So
you mean average?
Yeah, average 3,950. Once you put a 3K defense, you'll be about 5K. So we're going for some low cost quarterbacks, I'm assuming, for you guys. I already have my quarterback. I don't need to worry about that. But we can kind of keep flowing through here. Let's see. It's funny. I'm not going to do – I'm a little worried about the health of this guy, to be quite honest. But I'm not going to do the defense yet. I'm going to put Goddard in there. But, of course, with this fresh Q tag that he's just popped up. Now, again, this is a little bit of just that bill. What I was going to say is I'm not going to do Giants tight ends because I can't figure out really if Theo or Bellinger or what the hell's going on or who is actually the better one to play. So I figure I'll just take the opposing tight end in Goddard and just keep building this. This is more of a GPP lineup. I'm going to put this in a tournament because I think it's appropriate for one. I think I've built like a decent GPP lineup here. With that being said, yeah, Wan'Dale could have been an interesting pick there too. So no thanks to that, Fling.
Sorry. I thought about Judy, but he has no floor this year. Even though it's 4,100, it's terrible.
Can't play Judy.
I know.
No. Funconomics on the clock, 4,300 left. Can go for the quarterback, or you can put your defense in here and figure out based on value remaining what quarterback to go with.
Yeah, there's I'm taking a look through. through what trying to get a sense of like the defenses just get really ugly at the bottom this week in terms of who you're playing against, and obviously it's a super high variance position. But honestly, I think this will probably remove one of the quarterbacks from consideration that you mentioned that I think is actually a fine play. Like especially if you were playing this in a tournament, you just wouldn't play the defense I'm about to say. But I am going to go with the Jets.
Wow.
I kind of, when I look at that bottom range that allows me to afford a quarterback, it's just hard for me to imagine wanting to play against any of these other teams. The only other one I thought about a little bit was the Browns, just because of some of their upside, but I can't imagine in like this style that I would want to put somebody up against some of these other quarterbacks.
Most of these are no's. No. Can't play the Giants. Can't play Titans. Can't play the Panthers. Can't play Dolphins. Can't play Saints. Definitely can't play the Cowboys. Even Browns. Yeah, feels gross. Bears. If Lamar wasn't there, maybe not with Lamar.
Right. And for me, I think my lineup is banked on Lamar being there, because otherwise my lineup is in the
it's pretty toast
either way. Yeah,
I would say I can make an argument for Bengals. As bad as the actual defense is, like the NFL defense is, the Jets are so bad that they might overcome, even with Tyrod Taylor, like they might overcome the badness of Bengals defense to deliver a big score. So like at 2,700, I can see that.
Yeah.
But there are not a lot of bargain defenses this week that you're going to feel good about at all. After Bengals, man, I'm going to scroll up. I kind of want to just pay up for defense and just go Colts and YOLO it.
Sure.
I might do that. Fling can't afford it, so I can talk all I want about defenses. He put Colts in there. He doesn't have a lineup. I can play whoever the hell I want. With that being said, Fling, you're on the clock here. You might want to grab the cheapest defense and accept the 0 at this point based on how much you have left.
Yeah, I mean, I have no other option, right? That's what happens when you go the Bijan route. So
yeah, technically, I mean, you don't have to go with the cheapest, but
close to it.
Yeah.
So I was gonna take the Jets. So thanks for that, John. Appreciate you. So I'll take the Giants here. It's a divisional game, and they have a good pass rush. So I could see it.
Leaves you 5,800 for the last piece. Lots of choices at quarterback at that price point. You're oh man, Flacco's there. Just saying.
I know. He is there.
Love Flacco. All right, I'm going to go for the defense too, except I'm going the opposite. I'm getting crazy. I'm paying up for the Colts and the 19 points they are lock button going to deliver as Cam Ward stumbles, fumbles, and bumbles around out there like he does every single week. You can count on Cam Ward to deliver about a 10 burger to your defense without the defense even trying. Then if they do anything, forget about it. Taking them. 6,900 left, the perfect number for the flex. We'll get.
If you were going to pay up, that's the one to do it for sure.
Yeah. Well, I took a very middling build. Like you guys took all the studs, got Bijan, got CMC. I couldn't get to Jonathan Taylor, so I'm like, you know what? Let's just go with it. Let's go with it. And the expensive defense, why not?
God, he's so pricey now, but he's been so money.
Yeah,
been so good.
Funconomist, back to you. 6,300 for the quarterback position.
So I'm going to break this down a little bit about like how I thought through this, right? So and hopefully this will be helpful for people building lineups, right? So I think, there was a couple ways I could have went before I took went with the 2 tight ends. That's a tough decision. I think that's like always a thing that you can think about because the salaries are so low. But obviously that you lose some amount of upside, right? I went with that build, I think partially because of kind of the format, right? And then when we got to that defense pick, I could have went both ways, similar to what you just said. You went the opposite way as me. And I think, like, for example, if this were a tournament lineup, like a true GPP build, perhaps it would have been a better choice for me, like to go Titans and then actually like get a little weird with quarterback, right? I have Chase. I could have taken Flacco. I have Rashid Shaheed. I could have went with Rattler, who frankly, like, not amazing options, like when you just think about them out loud, but from a point per dollar perspective and just a GPP upside perspective, perfectly fine, right? Especially in this lineup construct.
Oh yeah,
if you were building those.
Smart Chase in there for Chase to deliver at an $8,100 salary. Flacco has to that locks Flacco into about 20. Like he's not getting there. Yeah.
And I think the other option again with GP, like if I was given this template, right, of this lineup and somebody said to me, what's the GPP option for a quarterback in this spot? I can't get to Lamar Jackson. I could pay down for one of those quarterbacks, but I think the only other one that also is like fairly decent option would be Caleb Williams, because you have both run backs with him playing Baltimore, and I've got 2 Baltimore receivers. Now I obviously ideally want someone opposite him, a pass catcher. But that said, all of that said, right, I've said a lot there. I'm thinking about this more as a cash game construct. So I'm looking more for like projection upside. I'm kind of deciding between 2, but I'm going to actually go with, so you were right there. The 2 that I was going to decide between were Bo Nix and Daniel Jones, and I'm going to go with Daniel Jones.
Jones?
I'm going to go with Jones. And we're going to target that last place defense on the pricing on the defense side. So.
There, I thought you were going Knicks. I can't believe you left Fling Knicks. We know he's obsessed with the Broncos based on the J.K. Dobbins pick. I know.
Stop. They don't. I just told you they don't correlate well together.
That is fair, actually, and you can't afford Knicks in your build, so you're screwed.
Exactly. Well, you mentioned Caleb Williams. I was like, oh no, he's going to take my pick.
I mean, I don't know why everybody. Are we really scared of Flacco? Flacco is going to smash this week. Don't be scared to play Flacco. He is probably, to me, Flacco can outscore everybody. He can get a 30.
If you keep this up, you may have to forfeit the Jet sign in the background.
Oh, forget it. I've given up on the. Listen, you know why I got into fantasy football? Because I'm a Jets fan.
Yeah,
you want to root for this? I needed to root for my players, my teams, my fantasy teams, because I've been a fan of the worst franchise in the NFL of the past 40 years. You know how much suffering I've dealt with here?
Very good.
You ever see the Curb Your Enthusiasm with the guy who was the Jets fan? finally dies. He's like, he couldn't take it anymore. Couldn't take it anymore.
Well, hey, some people say that fantasy football has no intrinsic value, but I think you could disagree with that point right there.
100%.
I very greatly disagree with that because the intrinsic value is I can watch the games with a rooting interest.
And it doesn't have to be the Jets. Right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, agreed. 100%.
This is the part of the draft battle where I wish I had taken a different tight end.
Right.
Because this situation is really weird. Look at who's available from 6,900 down. It's a whole group of ne'er-do-wells, right? Yeah. There's no wide receiver, but Igbuka, who is a supreme stud this week.
Yeah,
just $100 out of week. Now, if Bucky was playing and he's not, okay, but I already got Rachaad White in there because he's not playing. So I'm effectively forced to make a decision here between Cook and Scatterboo. Judkins, Drake London's already off the board. Odunze, too cheap. Don't want him. I'm gonna go with Cook. Yeah, got to go with Cook.
That's a good spot.
I think Scatterboo, like with Dart, I think Scatterboo works with this lineup also, but I just think Cook has so much more general upside on a week-to-week basis. And again, this being more of an effectively like more of a cash approach, I'm going to use that. But I will say this just for the audience, Igbuka is, I like Igbuka more than Cook. I like that would be the guy, one of the guys that I'm really trying to get to this week if I can afford it. It would be Igbuka with no distractions or other wide receivers to bother him. I don't like that Q tag though. That makes me upset. But here we go. My lineup is done. Dart with some bringbacks from the Eagles and just straight up awesome plays. Rachaad White, Henry. We got T-Mac with Andy Dalton. Yes, please. I got T. Higgins with Flacco, the GOAT. I like this lineup. I would put this in a real tournament. I would put it in a tournament.
There you go.
It's in. All right. Funconomist, let's talk about your final lineup here. Danny Dimes, naked, just out there, all by himself.
All on an island.
Yeah, on an island all by himself, standing there as Jonathan Taylor smashes 3 touchdowns and completely eliminates any ability for him to put up any fantasy points or not. We'll find out. H.N. McCaffrey, a pair of pass-catching maniacs at the running back position. Some value wide receivers here with Flowers and Shaheed. Jamar Chase, the salary crusher. And, of course, Chase means you got to play Jets defense against him. Take a 0.
Double tight end.
The double tight end is this is the time of year. You kind of nailed it. This is the time of year where salaries start to be correct, except for Derrick Henry and Zay Flowers. But most of the salaries correct. And that's when you start to get into double tight ends as a viable approach. Fling, you've got Caleb Williams unstacked. Bijan, your every week guy, J.K. Dobbins. He's there all the time. Wandy, Pickens, London. I think these are all great little standalone picks. Cade Otton there with no Mike Evans, acceptable. Chase Brown against the hapless, terrible Jets. I think I really need Chase Brown to turn around. He's a featured part of a lot of my best ball teams.
God, mine too.
Yeah, that did not work well at all so far. I don't blame bad process. I blame Burrow got hurt and then the whole team just went to shit. I'm not expecting running backs on losing teams to have big games. We need them winning games, which is why I think that's a good pick this week, Fling. So good stuff. All right. That's going to do it for the draft battle NFL week 8. John Funconomist, man, it was great having you on 4 for 4. Where could we find your stuff?
Yeah, 4 for 4 at Funconomist or Funconomist, however you want to say it. I'm good with it. I try to post some tidbits there. Do my best to try to put some helpful stuff out there if I can. When I feel like there's something worthwhile to say. So, and then 4 for 4 football. Lots of DFS stuff there. I'll have my cash games article. The article on breakout receiver model or the buy low model was posted today. So you can hear I actually had that's funny, the Jonathan Taylor comment you made. It's kind of made its way into that piece. So anyway,
there we go. I love it.
Sweet.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It's fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, we appreciate your coming on here. And for the audience, guys, let us know in the comments which lineup do you think is going to take down the draft battle for NFL week 8? Hit us in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate everybody, and we'll see you all next time. Helmets up.